Idea to go ahead and get this topic out of the way before we do anything else. Holy shit. Do you want to know what kind of a mental drain it is when your channel gets a strike? For those who don't know, when you get a strike on YouTube, you get basically a 7-day suspension where you're not allowed to do anything. Not even respond to comments. Not even let people know that, hey, a strike has happened. Moreover, when you actually have that strike, when that happens, there's another little interesting thing that goes on. You only have 3 of those strikes before your channel gets terminated. So what would you say if I told you that in the last week, I've received 2 strikes? Now, you may be wondering how that's possible since I'm obviously speaking to you on YouTube. If you're watching the VOD, I'm talking on Twitch right now. In reality, were this a recorded video, I could pretend like I'm not. But the reality is I'm over on Twitch right now. If you haven't followed me over on Twitch, please consider checking out twitch.tv/NekoSuris, and you will be able to see me over there, where I record these live, and then come over here where you can see them in their edited form. There, self-shillings out of the way, aside from my Patreon and subscribing to this channel and all the other self-shilling that I probably need to do a much better job of. Strikes. I've received 2 of them in the last few hours. So let's go ahead and go through the story. On May 13th, I submitted a video called "The Vaccine is the Mark of the Beast," and other stupid things I used to believe. Because, at the end of the day, I used to be a very evangelical Christian, and I was an Alex Jones fan, and I religiously would show people the movie Zeitgeist to wake them up to the realities of the world around them, and blah, blah, blah. I've gone over this a few times. If you've been a viewer of my content for a while, Lord knows if you've seen all 750 of my videos that have been produced by now. I still can't believe that we're rapidly approaching 1,000 videos uploaded to this channel. Holy shit. You could watch 2 videos on this channel a day for a year, and you would not exhaust the amount of content on it yet. Jesus, that's what 3 years of my life does. Anyways, I released this video essentially going over an idea that I used to hold based on information that I had from the Left Behind series, as well as, like I said, people like Alex Jones and others. This video, if you have not seen it already, is basically just a very short story time video. It just goes over the ideas that I used to have, the framework in which I used to hold it, and why. And then, of course, this happened. I got a strike on that video, which would have expired in August, like the last one. And the reason was because of YouTube's policy against medical misinformation. Now, as for what medical misinformation was actually in this video, there wasn't any. But because it was a video where the title was "The Vaccine is the Mark of the Beast," despite the fact that it was in the very memey, very sarcastic SpongeBob font, format, whichever, YouTube's algorithm couldn't tell the difference. I don't think this one was from a false flag. I know that the Groiper video got hit with false flags. This one seems to have been more the algorithm hitting it automatically. Now, of course, we appealed this video. This is not the exact appeal that I submitted, but I was very tempted to just send YouTube, "Did you even watch the fucking video?" I typed it out. I almost sent this. I opted out. I decided to be a little more constructive with my appeal. And of course, eventually, the appeal was granted. And just like with the last one, the appeal was granted within a day. But now we have to talk about a couple of things. First of all, we need to talk about the fact that this music is incredibly inappropriate for what I'm trying to talk about. That's maybe better. You know what? Sonic the Werehog music is probably closer in tone instead of that special stage music. Anyways, point is, there's a thing that happens here. Especially if you're a YouTuber who's got mental health issues. You've only got so many spoons that you can lend to a given day. And you've probably also wondered why, with my channel doing double uploads recently, these last few days have only had a single upload. Quite frankly, I haven't had the energy to hop on and stream proper. I've been playing video games with friends. In fact, actually, I was doing Monster Hunter with Nick from The Game Apologist over on his stream. If you have not followed him at twitch.tv/GameApologist, I would highly, highly recommend doing so. Also, Eldritch Leash, thank you very much for the follow. That is a thing that everybody should be doing, following over on these platforms. I've been doing that because, quite frankly, it takes less energy. Because my mental energy is getting spent on stupid stuff. Covering politics already expends a good bit of my energy because of the stuff that I'm dealing with. Looking at the Black Hammer organization and the stuff that Ghazi is doing is mentally taxing. Dealing with TERFs online, dealing with people like A Call for an Uprising and Nick Fuentes, this stuff is mentally draining, but I do it because I want to. I do it because I believe in the things that I believe. But when you add on top getting random-ass strikes, this doesn't help. Now, why would this be mentally taxing? You know, what's so bad about potentially losing a YouTube channel or just not being able to upload for 7 days? Honestly, YouTube's my job. YouTube is the thing that I do for a living. Now, I am trying to diversify my income so that stuff like this doesn't affect me the same way it does right now. You see, right now, if I lost my YouTube channel, there would be half of my income stream gone completely, and there'd be no way around it. I would have no way of recovering that, and there would be no way that I could convince a bunch of people on Patreon to start donating enough to actually make up that difference. It wouldn't be worth it for them, quite honestly, and it would not be a good thing for me to do. Hey guys, I made a mistake. Please send me money. Not a thing that I want to engage in particularly. I'd rather be able to run where Patreon is supplementary and not literally the thing that allows me to survive. So, what can we do about stuff like this? Because this is unfortunately the reality of how YouTube operates. It's operated by robots that do not actually view the content that you make, and then, of course, your content gets hit, and you just get screwed. There's no real way around it, and you don't have any way to deal with it besides just taking the punches and hoping that a real person sees your video when you appeal. Nothing you can do about it besides that. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you're a viewer and you are watching this over on YouTube, maybe help me diversify that stream a little bit. I've already got a lovely bunch of people who follow me over on Twitch and tune into broadcasts pretty much every time that they're on. And it's very, very flattering and also humbling that there's a growing group of people over on Twitch who actually watch all of the streams that I've been doing here. And to be honest, I'm streaming over on Twitch more often and longer than I was streaming on YouTube. So thank you everybody who's able to actually be over here on Twitch. But if you're over on YouTube and you want to help out with this stuff, because this is probably going to keep happening, because I'm not going to stop covering the topics that cause stuff like this to happen, because I think that talking about things like vaccinations are important in the middle of a global pandemic. So the biggest help you could do is following me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/NekoSuris, so that I can have my eggs not in one basket, but at the very least in 2 or 3. Not to mention, if you're over there, you'll be able to hang out whenever we're doing video game streams. We've been doing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise over here, and have been bringing in people from the audience to play as well. So if that's a thing you want to do, then you should come over here and do that. I switched over to Twitch primarily because I'm able to do gaming streams after my regular content without affecting me in the algorithm to begin with. I don't have the same numbers that someone like Vosh does, where he can kind of absorb an algorithmic hit every once in a while. But that's all for that topic. We had not a whole lot to cover with this, just, hey, my channel's getting random strikes. It's really mentally taxing. The biggest help you could do is following me over on the other platforms where I am doing my stuff, so that in the random chance case that a human does not get to these appeals in time and we get 3 strikes stacked up, since we got 2 in a matter of a week, just in case, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this. Please consider supporting me and what I do by checking out links to my Patreon and other areas that are in the description below. As always, if you enjoyed my content, please consider hitting the like button and also following, subscribing, and doing all of the other social media nonsense that is required to survive on the internet these days. As always, everyone, thank you, and insert end of video tagline here.